Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE Monday Night Raw episode 1363, which was broadcast on July 8th, 2019. We're in week 28, part 1 of 2019, and I also want to talk about a couple other things very, very quickly. I saw Midsommar. It's a super messed up film. If you like super messed up films and if you're intrigued by the trailers, then I say absolutely go and see it. A couple of warnings. It's really messed up, like violence and strange acts and all kinds of stuff, all kinds of weird stuff going on. So be aware of that. And also, it is very long. It's about 2.5 hours long, and so that could be a deciding factor on whether to go see the film or not. Especially if you're seeing it like late at night. If you're seeing it like a 10 p.m. show, you're not going to get out of there till well after midnight. So those are my two warnings, I guess, about Midsommar. But I do think it's worth checking out. Personally, I would be totally fine if I never saw the film again, but I am glad that I did see it once, and that I saw it in the theater. Also, I watched Big Little Lies season 1, and I've started watching season 2, but I kind of want to hold off until the season complete. There's only 2 more episodes that need to come out anyway. So I'm not in a big hurry to finish watching season 2, but season 1, so good. It's so good. And then there's all kinds of revelations and stuff, especially in the last episode, and it kind of blew me away. It may have helped that I was up really late. I was up all night. I was working overnight when I was watching it, and maybe that tends to help my enjoyment of stuff more. Is that it's like, oh, this is great because it's helping me stay awake, so it's awesome. But yeah, I highly recommend Big Little Lies season 1, especially since I've watched all of it so far, and also season 2 is off to a pretty good start. I'm not quite as hooked as I was on the first season. I think just because it doesn't have that same storytelling element. Like, somebody dies. That's the name of the first episode. Somebody has died or something like that. And you don't know who. The way the story is structured, you're seeing stuff from after somebody has died, but a bulk of it's kind of narrating and looking back at what happened before that, and you don't even know who is the person who dies until the end of the first season. So I guess that's kind of a spoiler, but it doesn't have that element in the second season because you find out at the end of the first season. But anyway, the last thing I want to talk about before I talk about this episode of Raw is that last night, I'm recording this on Thursday, the 11th, and last night at the Pepsi Center on July 10th, Hugh Jackman performed with his live tour, and I got a ticket to it, and it was freaking awesome, and I wish I could go see it again, and but to do so would be it would be kind of crazy to do that, because he only has one more week of shows in the United States, and to go to like California next week to see the show at one of the shows he has out there. So that's probably yeah, I'm not going to do that, but I wish I could, and I highly recommend anybody who's in California or Utah. Utah is like the next 2 nights. I don't know why he's in Utah for 2 nights and not in Denver for 2 nights. That's weird. And he's only in Las Vegas for 1 night. So he's going to Utah, Las Vegas, San Jose, San Diego and then the Hollywood Bowl for 2 nights to finish out the United States leg of the tour. And then he's off to Australia. And that would be even more ridiculous if I went over there to go see a show. So I'm not going to do that either. That's like the tickets would be ridiculously expensive. Like only booking it like a week out. They're already super expensive, booking like 6 months ahead of time. So anyway, I really recommend it. He sang a bunch of songs. He told a lot of stories. A lot of the songs were like very personal to him. He really told his own story, a little bit of biographical show, and also like tributes to all kinds of great artists, especially Peter Allen. Like the whole start of the second act is all about Peter Allen. And then he also had some Aboriginal Australians who are part of I forget the group that they're the organization that they're like the heads of or whatever, but they performed this awesome piece with the didgeridoos and the vocals and all that. It was really cool. And then also throughout the night, a choir joined them. And since this particular choir was from Denver, is Harmony. So harmonychorale.com is their website, I believe. That was really cool to see the local performers performing with him. So I assume that it's a local chorus in each of the places that he is going on tour. So that was really, really awesome as well. All the other featured performers, all the other performers, featured or not, were fantastic. The production design was amazing. Like the camera work and all of that, it's really cool. And then he also interacted with the crowd a whole bunch. Like went out to the audience, talked to some people. It was all, and he even brought this one gal up on stage and danced with her a little bit, and it was all super, super cool. So yeah, go see this show. I hope he does this show again at some point in the future. It'd be crazy to say he should just do this all the time, because he's got to go make some more awesome movies too, and be in some more awesome musicals, go perform on Broadway and things like that. If that's what he wants to, whatever he wants to do, you know. But yeah, it was great. It was really funny too, and man, I'm still like buzzing with excitement from it. It was so much fun. It wasn't quite sold out. There were a couple of empty seats around me, which was nice, because the second act I ended up having empty seats on either side of me, because I was just such an awful person to be sitting next to. People moved away from the one lady who was sitting right next to me, or sitting next to me on my left side, she had something going on with her knee, so that she it was really painful for her to be sitting in a seat. So she ended up moving with her daughter to the row in front of us, where nobody had shown up in that row, and that was the front row of the section. So it had more leg room, and she could stretch out her leg a little bit more. So she was more comfortable. I was more comfortable. The people on the person on the other side of me was more comfortable. The person on the other side of them was more. It worked out very well. So, but yeah, it was for a Wednesday night. Like it was packed. Like there were people filled every section pretty well. I would say my particular situation with the empty seats around me was an exception rather than the rule for most of the sections. So yeah, it was awesome. All right, now we're 10 minutes into this episode. Let's talk about Monday Night Raw. We open up with Becky and Seth going against Andrade and Zelina in an elimination mixed tag team match. I don't understand what that was about. Like, it would have made sense if Zelina. Okay, so Becky eliminated Zelina before the first commercial break, and it was nice. Again, we get wrestling starting the show. Um, but so it would have made sense that okay, now the women are out of the match, and we'll forget about the whole concept of it going to a draw if then Andrade beat Seth, whatever. Um, what confused me was that Becky, when we come back from commercial, she was still on the apron, ready to tag in. She never did get tagged in, but like, how is that supposed to work? Because in a mixed tag team match, it's only men against men and the women against women. So when they tag in, then the other person has to come in, and so that just doesn't work if only Zelina is eliminated. But it's also weird if they're both eliminated, because then it's just like, oh, why don't we just have two matches back to back, a men's match and a women's match, whatever. But anyway, Becky got the first fall via disarm her, and then let's see, all kinds of stuff happened, but ultimately, Andrade ended up running into Becky when Becky pushed Seth out of the way to save him from that attack. But she took the whole force of that. And but once he got back into the ring, there was some really good stuff in this match. I really liked it. I was just confused about how that was supposed to work with Becky being able to tag in. Still, anyway, Seth won the second fall via stomp, and then Baron attacks them when they're up on the ramp, and Lacey joins in on the attack as well. Heyman enters, and he says that he knows a lot about Extreme in Philadelphia, and that Brock will cash in. That's a spoiler, not a prediction. That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler. And he says that he may cash in on either champion. So that's still, we'll see what happens. I think it would be pretty cool if Brock does cash in on whoever. I think I really want him to cash in during the mixed tag team winner takes all match. That would be hilarious. I hope that happens. Because then he would have two championships. He would take Becky's championship. I think that would be great. So we'll see what happens. Maybe I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to talk about my actual predictions later on. In this week's SmackDown episodes, in the next episode, which hopefully I'll get that recorded at some point later today. After I finish this episode, I'm gonna get ready to go and drive up to Wyoming for a little bit. Oh, I'm gonna sleep just thinking about it. So yeah. Drew and Shane, they're going around trying to find a partner for Roman Reigns in their match later on. So they talk to a garbage man. They talk to a security guard. They talk to a bunch of different people. I think like a concession stand guy, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, that was kind of interesting. Then we had the Revival plus Elias versus the Usos and plus the Miz. The Revival got the first fall when Dash pinned one of the Usos. I forget which Uso. I'm sorry. The second pin, Miz pinned Dawson, and then the third pin went to one of the Usos who also pinned Dawson. So that team got the win. Yeah. Let's see. Drake Maverick, his wife Renee is so mad at him, and it's very, very, very funny. It continues to be hilarious. But Drake is still the champion, and awesome for him. As of this point, after I haven't watched SmackDown yet, but I believe that Drake still has the championship because he has has been posting more pictures of it and everything. Ray comes out and issues an open challenge. He's back from injury, and that open challenge is answered by Bobby Lashley, who quickly destroys Ray. And there we go. I guess Ray might be injured again and out of action. I don't know. No Way Jose versus Cesaro. They actually get to have a match, which Cesaro quickly ends by destroying Jose after he chases off the conga line. First of all, he chases off the conga line, but then he destroys Jose, getting him to tap out to the sharpshooter. Street Profits backstage, they keep promoting Extreme Rules, hyping it up, and I thought they were pretty fun to watch. I think they were on maybe two or three segments. Definitely two, maybe three. We had an interview between it was announced that there would be a Beat the Clock challenge later on, where Bayley would fight Sarah Logan and Nikki Cross would fight Dana Brooke. And the winner of the Beat the Clock challenge would be able to choose the stipulation for Bayley versus Alexa Bliss at Extreme Rules. Up next, we had Truth and Carmella. They're trying to find Drake. Let's see if he's hiding in boxes, all of that, which they were close. He was hiding in a box earlier on, but maybe they saw that clip and thought, oh, maybe he's still in that box. But they go chasing after him. All the crew, the 24/7 posse, go chasing after Drake, and for some reason, Truth and Mella go running the opposite direction. Truth does. Carmella is not doing any running. She's being carried in that direction. She does not want to go in that. She says, you're going the wrong way. Up next, we had the Viking Raiders versus Colin and Devin Justin. That's two people, not three people. Justin is their last name. The Viking Raiders win decisively. They basically win twice because I think it was Ivar who just pulls the poor guy up off of the mat before the 3 count. But the 24/7 spills into there afterwards, and everybody realized they got to get the heck out of there because the Viking Raiders will probably actually eat them. Then we had Ricochet versus, I just wrote down Rick, and I was like, Rick Flair? What? No, Ricochet versus Luke Gallows. Ricochet wins, and AJ says, what? So what? Why don't you said you go through all three of us, so why don't you fight Anderson right now? So Ricochet then also beats Carl Anderson, and AJ's not happy about that. So they all beat up Ricochet afterwards, and there you go. I am really looking forward to the match. Ricochet versus AJ is going to be so good. I don't even care who wins. It's just going to be an awesome match. I'm probably the most excited for that match out of anything on this whole pay-per-view. But anyway, then we had R-Truth. Let's see. He's hiding in a box with a referee, and he tries to go after Drake, but that does not work out. Then we have the Beat the Clock challenge. Bayley defeats Sarah Logan in 4 minutes and 32 seconds. Logan put up a pretty good fight. For a little while there, I was wondering, what if Bayley can't actually win the match? Then Nikki Cross, as long as she wins, she has to beat the time of Infinite. But she beats her with a time of 4 minutes and 32 seconds. And so Nikki has to beat that time versus Dana Brooke. And she does. She has like 2 minutes and 30 seconds left or something like that. And so she makes the stipulation that the Extreme Rules match will be a 2-on-1 handicap match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. The team of Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss will be going after Bayley there. Let's see. Becky and Seth in 2. I don't know what that note is. I forget what. I don't remember at all what that is. I don't know. Moving on. More predictions from the Street Profits talking about Extreme Rules, and that was a lot of fun to watch as well. I forget what their predictions were, but Oh, I think Montez is like, oh, oh, who? No, I forget which one of them predicted it, but he was messing with them. He was like, I pick Baron Corbin. He's like, what? And he's about to get real mad. He's like, I'm just joking. Shane and Drew versus Roman and janitor Gary the Goat Garbett. He's wearing a mask that convinced him he doesn't have to tarnish his name. He doesn't have to embarrass his family. He can wear a mask, and it backfires kind of, because under the mask is actually Cedric Alexander, but he also got pinned by Shane McMahon after getting hit by a Claymore. So I don't. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool to see Cedric Alexander in the main event, and hopefully get to see him in more main events in whatever capacity. Hopefully not in a janitor's outfit again, but in a mask. But yeah. So yeah, that leads Roman and Undertaker versus Shane and Drew. I don't know. It'll be a match. Hopefully it's at least entertaining in some way. That's all I'll say about it. Roman and Undertaker, they've got to win, right? But yeah, I just hope it's not like a super long match that we just get a little bit of action from Undertaker. He probably like finishes off the match or like hits somebody with the choke slam. No, what would happen? I don't know. I think Roman probably hits Drew McIntyre with a choke slam with a spear to take him out of the picture so that Undertaker can hit Shane with a choke slam and get the pin. That's what I'm thinking is there's my prediction for that match. There you go. And whatever happens before that, I hope it's mostly Roman and just a little bit of Undertaker. That maybe he does like something cool like towards the beginning of the match, and then tags back out, and then Roman does most of the work. That's the best way that could happen, I think. So that's it. I think that's a good place to stop, because that's the end of the episode. That's and I do want to watch the Batista special. What is it? I forget what the name of that series is. I did not watch that yet. I did see like a couple of like little clips of it, and it looks pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to watching that whenever I do. So I'll talk about that at some point once I do watch it. Probably like on the airplane or like in the airport or something. On the way out to Extreme Rules. That's where I'll probably be able to watch it. Yeah, that's it. This episode wasn't nearly as good as last week. I was just waiting for somebody to get exploded in some fireworks or something, but no more LED boards getting blown up, at least not this week. So I liked it, but I even more so liked all the other stuff that I talked at the beginning of this episode. You got the Midsommar, you've got the Big Little Lies, and you've got Hugh Jackman, the show. All of those are super, super awesome. Well, Midsommar, I wouldn't say is awesome. It's like it's intriguing and worth checking out if you're interested in that kind of thing. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you thought about all this stuff by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe out there in all the infinite multiverses, and I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.